Oh, what's up, guys? This is my Resonator deck profile for the 2021 September format. Very, very good deck right now. Fair and balanced. There's a lot of broken cards in this deck. It's like a solid one or two cards away from being really good. But this deck's pretty decent for a 5Ds support deck. So let's get into it. First, we will be running triple of the best card in the deck, Crimson Resonator. The best one because it just special summons if you control no monsters. That's pretty good. But if you control a Dark Synchro, summon 2 Resonators from decks. That's pretty good. For our next tuner, we have triple Red Resonator. This one's okay because not as good as the other one, but this one's good because when it's special summon any of your level 4s from hand, and if it's special summoned, then you can gain life points equal to a monster you target's attack. So that's pretty good. For another tuner that we have in our deck, we have triple Synchron. This one can just be special summoned if a Synchro is on field, so that's pretty good. And if it's sent to grave, target a Resonator in grave and add back to hand, except Synchron, because then you can just loop this thing a ton. But pretty good. And for our one-ofs, we have Chain. If you normal summon while Synchro is on the field, summon a Resonator from deck. That's pretty good because you don't normal summon much. And a Creation because it special summons control of a higher Synchro, and it can also be summoned off of Chain or our Crimson. For our non-tuners, we run triple Wandering King Wildwind. This card's really good. Control a Fiend type tuner with 1500 or less attack, special him from hand, and that's pretty good for just not normal summoning at all. And then when he's in the graveyard, other than the turn that he was sent there, you can bash him to add a Resonator or Fiend type tuner with 1500 or less attack from your deck to hand. So that's pretty good. For our next non-tuner, double Red Familiar. This card's really good as a 2-of. You don't want to run more, and I feel like you could lower it a little bit, but I think it's pretty good as a 2-of. You contribute it to revive one of your bosses, which is really good, but it doesn't negate effects. But then you can banish it from grave to manipulate level to 1 to 8, so that's pretty good. So you can get some good plays off with that. So that's another one. And then our other level 4 is Witch of Black Forest. When it's sent to grave, you can search. So that's pretty good because you can search out one of your kaijus. Then double Hat Tricker as just a free special summon. You kind of need a level 4 and a level 2 in hand if you want to go full combo. So that's pretty good. Next, for our extra engine that you run in this deck, which works really well, kaijus. Double Gamma Seal. You could up this to 3 if you really need to, and you don't see them enough. 1 Raiden. It's okay, because if you can control any of your kaijus, this one's like the best one to have on your field. And Doldoran, because you can search out Witch of the Black Forest. I feel like this one's the one you want to up a little bit, but it's pretty decent. That's all for the monsters. Now for the spells and traps, you run the triple Resonator call. It's so simple. Just add a Resonator from deck to hand. It's one of the first searchers in the game, so it's just so good to run as a triple. Then for the other searcher we have in the deck, we have triple Resonator command. Some people run 2, but I like running 3 because you just discard a Resonator, search. Pretty good. So if you have like one of your bad Resonators in hand, this can really help you. So that's, and it's also quick play. Why not? It's pretty good. Definitely not as good as Resonator call, but pretty good. Next, as our other kind of new support card we got is Burning Soul. I just got this card from the King's Court. It's quick play. If you control level or higher Synchro, add a card from any card from grave to hand, then Synchro summon. So that's pretty good. And they cannot target the Synchro monster on field with card effects. So that's pretty good. It's mostly good because of one of our bosses just being able to negate everything, and this is quick play, so it can just ruin your entire opponent's turn. You could put this to 3 if you really want to, but I think that's a little bit overkill. This is perfect for ratios. Then for our other ones, we got Cosmics. back row can be an issue sometimes. And I like to run triple desires because if you don't draw into something you need, this can come in sometimes. And when Monster Reborn, you kind of need Monster Reborn in case you need a comeback. And Red Rain is one of. You could up this to 2 and 3. This card's insane. I've tested it so much and it's so good. Basically, if you control level or higher, Synchro, banish all the monsters on field, protect that highest level guy. So that's pretty good. And it also, if it's in the grave and Dark Dragon Synchro is summoned, you can add back to hand. So that's pretty good. So next, for extra deck. Starting off with the low levels to highest. So you run triple Red Rising Dragon. This card's so good. If without this card, this deck would be so bad. But when Syncstone it just revives a Resonator. So you can bring back Crimson, do all your combos off that. It's really good. For level 7, we run one Ancient Pixie Dragon. It is really nice to have because it's so much free. You summon this thing. It doesn't even do anything really. It's just a level 7 Dark Dragon. And it's kind of a Sino Dragon, so you kind of gotta run it. One Void Ogre. It's just a level 8 they can get out if you run out of resources, but it's pretty nice to have. One Beals. It's a really good Synchro Dragon thing. It's really good. It just can't be destroyed by battle card effects, which is really good these days. And if you take damage from attack or card effect, it gains the damage you took. So that's pretty good. Then for our main level 8, we got triple Scarlight. I'd say you could take one out for a hot red, but Scarlight's better in like every way. It inflicts burn damage, and it's treated as Red Dragon Archfiend. So why would you not run it at 3? Super cool looking also. Then for a 2 of double Hot Red Abyss, it's a negate. It's like a Crystal Wing, but a little bit better and worse at the same time. Because it doesn't destroy, it's a target. So you could still negate stuff. It just negates spells and traps, but you have to get good timing. But it's pretty good. And also, if you inflict battle damage, you can revive tuners. Next, for another Hot Red, we got Bane. He's just Tribute 1 to revive. That's really good. And you also run Tyrant. Tyrant has been up in price a little bit, like $13, $14 right now. You don't need him, but he's really nice to have as a one of. You kind of need him if you want the full power build. But what he does is he's a field nuke like Scarlight, and he also has a battle negation, which is really good. Then for our bosses, we have King Calamity. It's so good. Negates everything on the turn summoned, which is why you run Bruning in the first place. So you could just negate your entire opponent's turn, basically. But it also can, if it dies, you can just like bring back any of your like level or lower dragons. So that's pretty good. And then for our true boss, we got Red Supernova Dragon. The true boss of the deck. It's so good. Just when a monster activates, negate it, and it also gains 500. If it doesn't negate, it like banishes everything on her field. So it's just a field banish. It's so much better than like some of the Machina cards. And also it gains 500 for each tuner engrave. It comes back, it banishes itself like a Cosmic Blaze arc, but it comes back after a few turns, so that's really nice. So run this, obviously. Now we'll go into the test hand section of the video. So we'll just get a 2-card combo for this. All you need in your hand is a Crimson Resonator and Wandering King Wildwind, and we'll just throw an extra card, why not? It could, well, this is like the best hand you could ever ask for. Where is it? Burning Soul. So you need Crimson King Wildwind and Burning Soul. It's a pretty good hand because it can give you basically a boss and a complete field negation. So first, you start off turn by specialing your Crimson. Crimson is just good to have. And a special Wandering King. This could be any of your level 4s. I prefer Wandering King, so you have to normal. Then you synchro with these two. go into your Red Rising Dragon, and that will activate to bring back Crimson. The Crimson's effect will special summon from deck your Creation Resonator and Synchron Resonator. So that's a pretty nice field. And you can synchro for Red Rising and Crimson into Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Now you can either burn your opponent, or you can set the Burning Soul, and then when it's your opponent's turn, you flip it up, and you say Sayonara to them by adding Crimson to your hand. You synchro with these two, and tune your Scarlet, turn it into your King Calamity. Then King Calamity will make it so it negates everything and they can't respond to it. And then Synchron will also trigger in the grave to add a Resonator hand, which you do not need to. We've already added Crimson. So let's just say we can add, we'll add Creation back. So that is a very powerful combo. And that basically stops their opponent's turn. So that's just a goodbye to them. So that is my Resonator deck profile for 2021. It took me a second to get all the cards, but it was worth it because I've been enjoying this deck a lot. I think this deck has the potential to be a meta contender, but it needs one card. It needs a consistency card that can search out the tuner and non-tuner in one card, like a Machina Ranger deployment. That could be really nice for the deck. But they probably wouldn't do that just yet since we got so much support. Supernova's just been insane for the deck. So that is my deck profile. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.